do you find anything very important on the first page? I don't want to show it. Anything on the first page? Yeah, this, for example, Supreme Court to hear something related to Bihar role revision, not so important for exam. RGI, okay, you can read it. Trump issues threat of extra 10% tariff. Trump will be doing this every single day. 10%, 50%, 100%. Right? For example, for BRICS, they are saying if you come up with your own currency, we'll put 100% tariff. We don't know. So let him do all these stuffs. At the end, maybe we can discuss what's the impact. Then there is a news on the first page. Myanmar ethnic crisis drives 4,000 people to Mizoram. Is this important? What do you think? Suddenly 4,000 people from another country entered in India. Good news, bad news? Good for them. So what's exactly happening? Now we're talking about Myanmar. Whenever you see anything happening in the neighborhood of India, that becomes highly important. GS paper 2 international relations, specifically the topic is mentioned, India and its neighborhood. So rather than America, Russia, these countries are more important for us. Now look at this region. We're talking about Myanmar. Myanmar shares border with India and there are total 4 states. Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram. 4 states of India share border with Myanmar. Now the problem is, in this region of Myanmar which shares border with Mizoram, there is some problem in Myanmar. There is some conflict which is taking place between 2 different groups. Now when this conflict is happening, because of which the local people living in that area, they have started migrating. And obviously they have come to Mizoram. Natural choice for them is Mizoram because where can they go? There's no other option. Right? So they are right now refugees in India. Mizoram government, do they like it? Yes or no? And central government? Central government doesn't like. Okay, let's say people in Tamil Nadu, look at them, and people living in Sri Lanka. Let's say some Tamilians living in Sri Lanka, because of some conflict in Sri Lanka, they migrate to Tamil Nadu. What do you think Tamil people will do? Throw away, don't come. This is Tamilian land. Huh? Conflict? Not a conflict. They are the same people. Tamil people coming to Tamil people, will you say don't come? Problem is for others, na? See, when you belong to the similar ethnic group, there is some connection. Okay, when we say ethnic group, that connection could be due to anything. For example, you have common ancestry. Your father, his father, they match somewhere. That ancestry is the same. Or maybe you have same religion, maybe you have same race, maybe you have same language, same cultural heritage. Anything that makes this combination can become ethnicity. Okay, so just think about this idea. For a Tamilian, that Tamilian who is living in Sri Lanka seems to be closer to some extent than a Gujarati because of this sharing ethnicity. Okay, so yes, Mizoram government or the people of Mizoram, they have obviously given them refugee. But central government doesn't like this thing, because if these things keep on happening continuously, then this leads to some security challenge for the country. Okay, now there is a trend. The trend is, since 2021, more than 30,000 refugees from Myanmar and Bangladesh have taken shelter in Mizoram. So now can you understand the perspective of central government? That if so many people are continuously coming to the region of Mizoram, then this can be a little problematic, right? So security challenge is for sure there. Now think about the dimension of refugees. Refugee is a person who is from a particular country and now they are running away from their country. So they are somewhat stateless citizens. They don't have their own state. Where should they go? What do you think international law says about such refugees? in case someone is coming to your country. So will you ask them to just leave? You're not Indian, foreigners, go back, Simon. What do you think? What must be the international law? Even if you don't know international law, what do you think it must be? Ethical point of view. Accept it? Yes. Give them some shelter, let them live here. Yes. But we are 1.4 billion. But does it make sense? As in, already you have got ocean, put some water in the ocean, does it? So the point is, there is issue of resources also. We already have very limited resources. If refugees keep on coming, there's a limit till which we can manage. First, this idea is from the humanitarian side. Another side is of security. What if because of the migration of these refugees, because of this reason, some kind of security challenge gets emerged in your particular area? For example, in Assam, people claim that so many Bangladeshis have come. Now there's a different politics going on, right? There are conflicts, we have seen violence. So such things might happen, and security is the first responsibility of the state. So anyway, central government or state government, they'll have to give priority to security at one or the other point of time. Okay. Now, as far as this international law is concerned, so here we have this 1951 UN Refugee Convention. Now this convention says that if there is a refugee coming to your country, they are getting persecuted in their country, if you send them back, they'll die and all. You should keep them. You're not supposed to send them back. But the point is, India has not signed this refugee convention. So legally, at the international level, India has no direct obligation as such to keep these people, to provide them refugee status in India and keep them. There is no obligation legally, I'm saying. But it's not necessary. What is legal and what is moral, not necessarily the same. Morally, yes, we have that obligation. Someone is coming, they are getting persecuted, it is our responsibility. So this dimension. Now what I can look at it as, this is a very good example for me to write an answer, especially in ethics. There's a topic in ethics wherein we deal with what is ethical but not legal, what is legal but not ethical. When I try to show this combination, so I've got a very good example from newspaper. Are you getting the point how you're going to use this current affairs in your static part? Okay? Yeah, any doubt till now? No? Now some facts for prelims you must be aware of. For example, mapping part, you should be aware of which all states are there sharing border with Myanmar, and because Myanmar is in news, I suggest even to look at which state is sharing border in numbers, like 510 kilometer border shared by Mizoram. Now specifically the area where this incident has taken place, this is this Zokhathor. I don't know how to pronounce, but okay. Now this is a village in a district in Mizoram. District is Champai district. And this is the village where we are observing this migration taking place from Myanmar. Okay. Now there's a river also, Tiau River. Now even if you read geography, this river must not have been mentioned in the books. So this is something you study from your current affairs part. This is the river which creates the border between our Mizoram state and this Myanmar. Myanmar and Mizoram. The border is being created because of this river. Okay, now your part is just to remember there is something called this river over here, that's it. Okay, this is the mapping part. So that's it, that's the story. Okay, and there are many ethnic groups in this region. For example, here they are talking about this Chin community. Chin, Zo, there will be so many other cookies. Such ethnic groups are there. You will observe those ethnic groups are also there in northeastern part of India. Mizoram also, Manipur also, and some other states. So you'll observe that these are those people who share some relations on both sides of the border. They will have relatives on this side of the border, that is in India, and that side, that is in Myanmar also. So it's a complicated issue. It's not that easy for any government even to sort it out. Okay? That's it. That's the basic part you need to know. Rest you will study in the international relations in detail when you study India-Myanmar relations. Okay? Any doubt? No doubt. Okay. Now let's move ahead with the editorial directly. Let So this editorial, fostering a commitment to stop maternal deaths. Anyone knows what is this maternal mortality rate, MMR? Okay, if people die, that is maternal mortality. Okay, so maternal mortality means if a woman during her pregnancy stage, during pregnancy or maybe after the delivery till total 42 days, in this time period, if this woman dies, then it is maternal death or maternal mortality. Mortality means death. Now understand one thing here, when we are saying that this woman has died, this is not because of any accident or any particular disease. The reason is the delivery or the complications involved in the delivery. When the reason in itself is maternal, then it is called maternal mortality. Clear? Yes? Yes. Now, we have one rate that we call as maternal mortality rate that we count in India as well as around the world to check what is the status, how many women are dying because of such complexities or complications in delivery, or maybe they're not getting access to the hospital or some problem is there, some structural issue is there. So we check how much government is working. That will be shown from this MMR. If MMR is very less, that means government is working really good on this particular area. Now this MMR is calculated as total deaths per 1 lakh live births, and I suggest you people to remember this data. There will be direct question on MMR. Directly this line can be used anyway. Okay, so if in an area 1 lakh births have taken place, in any, let's say in Hyderabad, 1 lakh births have taken place. Out of 1 lakh, how many women actually died in those 1 lakh cases? How many women have died because of this maternal reason? Okay, that's the number which we call as MMR or maternal mortality rate, right? Now look at this graph. 1991, we were here 539. Okay, got reduced to some extent, 281 by 2006, 239. Our target is to reach 70 by 2030. Okay, this is the target. We have to take it to 70. So we are doing good. The graph clearly shows, yes, government is on the right track, and it's not about central government. It's the entire state government, central government. Anyway, when it comes to health, state government plays a major role, right? Now look at these states: Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Jharkhand. These are the states who have already achieved this target which we have said, that we have to go below 70, right? These states have already achieved this target. Rest are still working, so we'll wait for them to do this thing. Clear? Now, here we are talking about something called as preventable maternal deaths. There is a possibility that some maternal deaths could have been avoided. And in India, the major reasons, now here we are looking at things from the governance perspective. What is lacking in governance because of which such deaths are taking place? So these three major things which are mentioned in this particular article. One is delay in deciding to seek care. So for example, even if a woman is facing some challenge, let's say there's an unbearable pain, but nobody is supporting. Family members are saying, this is normal pain, you're modern girls, you're not able to take that pain, and also people are ignorant. Because of their beliefs or their ignorance, they're not reaching out to the hospitals as soon as possible when it was actually needed. They're not going to the hospitals, they're delaying the process. That is one part. Okay. Second, delay in reaching health facility because of transport issues. Let's say we do not have roads. Go to villages, we still do not have good roads as such for a person living in village area, and they don't have hospitals also, right? Or the areas where the roads are available, transport facilities are not available. So these are some things where government can actually work, right? And third, delay in receiving appropriate care at the hospital. Once you reach to the hospital, somehow managing all those transportations and all, you get to know that they do not have the equipments required to deal with this patient. So resource problem is there. There is delay in referrals. We know how government hospitals operate. They'll be like, okay, it's working. So there will be delay just like in any other government office. So all these are the major issues which you just need to keep in mind how things are happening. Okay, main thing is MMR in this particular article. Clear? Is it technical? Not technical? No? Good. This is very good article. Next page. On MSMEs. Can anyone tell me what is MSME? Micro, small, medium, enterprise. But what does it mean? Small scale industry. So simply it's a small business. Just like a small business, someone brought, let's say I come up with a new machine, a small machine which can, let's say, make pickles or something like roti or something. That's a machine I have. So I've set a business. That's an MSME business. Okay. Now MSMEs, are they really important for India's economy? This is where you need to think about MSMEs first of all. So you'll observe that whatever export India is doing, complete export from India to any other country, 45% of that export takes place because of MSMEs and not the big corporates as such. Okay, so from this one data you can understand how important MSMEs for us from economic perspective, or let's say the amount of money we are earning through export, right? Second, look at it from the perspective of employment, the amount of job that you're getting. So employment generation, 7.5 crore people are already employed here in these major MSMEs. And look at this share in manufacturing. You see, we have agriculture, the primary sector, we have manufacturing sector, and we have service sector. What do you think? Which one is doing good? I hope you understand the difference between agriculture. Very good. So, which one is doing better? Service sector, manufacturing sector, or agriculture? Service sector? Manufacturing is doing good. We would have reached to the skies. Modi ji is saying make in India, make in India. It's not happening. That's why he's saying make in India. So manufacturing sector is not doing good as such. Okay, that's a problem with India's economy. Our service sector is doing really good. But the problem with service sector is it cannot give employment to everyone. They need high skill people, like those people working in software industries. They're highly skilled. You can't just take anyone. But in manufacturing, you can take anyone. So they can provide job. Now, when we look at this manufacturing sector, 36% of India's manufacturing sector comprises of MSMEs, small businesses. They are part of manufacturing industry throughout India. Okay, 36% is a good number. Okay, so this shows, yes, MSMEs are important. Now, one thing for exam you should know is this technical definition given by government of MSME, and they keep on changing the definition. That's a problem. But don't worry, they don't change every year. They take some time. So the present definition, the updated one, is this one. A company or a business will be called as micro if the investment in that company is not more than 2.5 crore and turnover not more than 10 crore. Investment and turnover, you understand? Investment means whatever money this person has put in to buy all those equipments and all, that's the investment. Turnover is not profit. Turnover means you have sold whatever you had to, and then whatever money you have got. But you had some expenses also. You have spent so much money, you have to remove that. Or you have people working for your company, you have to give them their salaries and all. Then comes your profit, right? When you remove that. But we're not talking about profit. We are talking about only the turnover part. So this is the data. This is something you will have to remember. 2.5 crore and this 10 crore. Similarly, there's a data for this small industries, 25 crore, 100 crore, and medium industries 125 crore, 500 crores. It is possible maybe in future government might change this data, but that will again be part of your current affairs, so don't worry. Okay, but remember this data because this will be directly asked. Okay, any doubt on this? No? Now say, this was the story of MSMEs. This particular article talks about women in MSMEs. First of all, it says that the women participation in MSMEs is very less. Total MSMEs that are present in India, only 20% are led by women. Only 20%. So they're saying women are nowhere in MSMEs. Second, when let's say a person running an MSME, they don't have a lot of money as such, so they go for some kind of loan. They reach out to banks to get some credit or loan. Now, if a man is going to take loan, look at the chance of getting loan and compare it with a woman who is going and asking for loan. So there is a difference that has been shown over here. The difference says that there is 20% credit gap for women, whereas for men it is 15%. That means, let's say 100 men reach out to banks, 85 will get loans, 15 will not. In case of women it is more, 80 women will get, 20 will not get. Right? So there is a 20% credit gap. Now, why this thing is there? Why women have low participation? First of all, they are very less in number, and second, this credit gap is also there. Why this is happening? This is something you need to think about. So one reason is they don't have any ownership as such. You look at your home, as in the property must be owned by your father or brother and not the daughter or the mother. That's a problem. That's a problem for banks. When bank is giving you loan, they expect some collateral, that you should give us some guarantee that you have got this plot, you have got this building, so we can trust you, we can give you loans. But women, not just in India, throughout the world you will find that they're not owning properties, right? So that's a major problem. Second, they're not aware. They're not aware of this MSMEs. They're not aware of the loans that are available for them. They're not aware of the schemes government has brought for them. There are so many schemes, but they are not aware. That's one problem. Then literacy issues, digital literacy issues. Internet connection is not there. Women are not having much access. They're not able to get the access. Let's say even before this scheme, this Jandhan and Aadhaar Yojana, this Trinity which we call it, Jam Trinity. Before that, there were many women who did not have even access to the bank account. And when government said that you should link it with mobile number, then we got to know many women do not have mobile phone. So such complexities are there. Okay? And most of the time when women reach out to someone for loan, it's not the bank, the commercial bank that we have, or formal institutions which we call. Rather they go for informal institutions. So someone in their friends or relatives, or someone who takes heavy charge for giving you that loan. They reach out to such informal lenders to get this credit or loan. Okay? So these are the major issues because of which we see such condition. Clear? Any doubt? No doubt? Okay. So the next news, COP30. Anyone heard about COP? What is COP? Conference of Parties. Very good. So we have this convention called UNFCCC regarding the climate change talks. So we know climate change is happening and we know that something has to be done, otherwise everyone will die some way or the other. Now at the United Nations level, under this UNFCCC, a meeting takes place. That meeting is called as COP, Conference of Parties. So here the head of the states of every country, they will come together and they will discuss what to do about this climate change. Okay? So every year you will see this COP meeting taking place. So the number will increase. Last year it was COP 29, which took place in Azerbaijan. So there's a place in Azerbaijan called Baku, where this COP 29 took place. This year it is going to take place in Brazil. So interesting, Brazil this year is going to be in news, so maybe in exam also. BRICS meeting taking place in Brazil. This one also. Now, before this COP 30 meeting, which is supposed to take place in Brazil, before that, another meeting is taking place that we call as this Bonn Climate Talks. Okay. Now, these talks, this is nothing but the preparation for this final meeting. Okay. What is being discussed in these particular talks is what to do about this climate change finance mechanism, or what we call as climate finance architecture. See what has happened. We all know that climate change is happening, and we also know that the main role played in this climate change is by the developed countries and not the developing countries. Because the industrial revolution, if you see, that started in Britain, then other European countries, they started industrial revolution, and the result of industrial revolution is today's phenomenon of climate change. Okay, although it's a very monocausal analysis, but yes, this is the major reason. It's the developed countries who have developed so much with a wrong strategy of development, which is not at all sustainable, because of which we observe this climate change phenomena. We are developing, although we are also on the same track, countries like India and China. But look at other countries. We are, let's say, exceptions, but other developing countries, this global south, they did nothing, and now the climate change is going to impact them very badly. Right? Now, because of this, because of all this, when these COP meetings were taking place, one argument which was put by this global south or these developing countries is that these developed countries are more responsible for climate change rather than developing countries. That's why they should pay more to solve this crisis. Okay, they should pay more to solve this crisis. So there is this idea called differential responsibility. Responsibility lies on all the countries, but there is a difference. Developed countries have more responsibility to sort out this crisis. That's a moral responsibility because you have done this, right? Now, here comes the problem when things come to the finances. Now, in this, where is this meeting? In 2009, when this COP meeting took place, it was decided that developed countries are going to pay 100 billion US dollars every single year to the developing countries. This is the finance mechanism that was supposed to be established. So this was expected, okay, and this was also done like, yes, we will do this. That was a promise made by all the developed countries after so many talks, okay, but this never happened. So right now there's a trust deficit. Developing countries are not trusting these developed countries that you will pay us something, right? Now they are talking about something new. New collective quantified goals. Now what the developing countries are saying, even if you give us $100 billion right now, now it will be useless because the crisis is continuously intensifying. Even $100 billion are not enough. So now we need to talk about something new. Some new goals are needed. And those are your new collective quantified goals. They have given a term, doesn't matter to us. We'll also write the same term in exam. So this is the entire story till now. Still, we are having talks. Still, we don't see anything happening. When it comes to paying the amount of money or some substantial amount of money, these developed countries are like, Menuki, I don't care. Especially countries where leaders like Trump are there. They're like, I don't want Paris Climate Agreement. Why? Because I'll have to pay. It's better I'll not pay. Right? So such things are continuously happening. Now this COP 30, when this will happen, this will be a major news for us because whatever happens over there, those highlights will be more important for us for exam. You can expect direct question in exam, in GS also, in optional also. Okay. So COP 30, we'll wait for COP 30. Now, one more thing. One key issue that remains between developed and developing countries. Now, to some extent, most of the developed countries have accepted that yes, it was their fault. They should pay. They have problem with paying such a heavy amount. That's a problem they have. Second, when you say developed country should pay this amount, so let's say US government should pay this amount. What these developed countries are saying, let private players pay this amount on voluntary basis. Means government will not pay. Someone from the private, let's say Elon Musk will come and pay you some amount. So let these private players do it, that too on voluntary basis. So this is like create a gray area, not taking responsibility. Because if private players don't do it, who's going to ask them question? Nobody. Right? They don't want this obligation. Whereas developing countries are saying it should be public finance. It should be public finance and not private finance. Secondly, these developed countries, what they do sometimes while giving that money, they'll not just give away the money, they'll give it as a loan. They like this phenomena. We'll give you loan, you do whatever you want to. Because later on, we'll take that money from you. So a new kind of colonization. So here developing countries are saying these should be grants and not loans. Okay? So that's the core thing which is happening over here till now. Okay, we'll wait for this COP30 because then we will get the right idea of what is happening, although we know what will happen. Okay? Now, next is about your air pollution. Now, this news is not so important, but few things if you are aware of, that's good. For example, this study talks about air pollution and it says that it has some relation with the births. There is some impact on the children because of this air pollution, rising air pollution. Now, first of all, they're talking about something called as particulate matter 2.5. Any idea what is particulate matter? Yes or no? You can't be in between like, no? Very good. I like no. Particulate matter means these are very small particles which you cannot see with your eyes. Those are very small and they are made up of some solid material plus some liquid droplets, and they are very small. And you'll get this news most of the times from Delhi, that PM 2.5 level has increased so much in Delhi, especially in winters. So what government does is, no schools today, no vehicles will come, that odd even scheme will start, all these things happen. Why this is happening? Because those very small particles, they have increased in number. And the point is, when you inhale air, these particles also get in your body. Okay, they get inside your body, they get in your lung, and then they affect your body. Okay, now see, this is called particulate matter, and we look at its size. So if its size is 2.5 micrometers. Now you can't imagine 2.5 micrometers. It is 30 times smaller than your hair. You can see your hair, but 30 times smaller, I'm saying, this particulate matter 2.5 is. So you cannot see it, simple. But there are these particles, although in Delhi we can see that. If you ever visit Delhi in winters, you can see pollution. Otherwise, pollution is something we read. We don't see pollution. So this is the PM 2.5. Now, because of this PM 2.5, when it increases in a particular area, this leads to preterm delivery and baby's birth in underweight category. This is a new study which is claimed by this PLOS Global Public Health. So this is a new study. They're saying because of this, when a mother is inhaling this PM 2.5, because of this, preterm delivery is happening. Preterm, you understand now. And secondly is babies. They're underweight. So this is a health issues that we are observing. Apart from that, many children, their brain development does not take place in the manner it is supposed to happen. So we are observing how air pollution is affecting people through this particular study. And the worst areas, obviously, Delhi will be at the top, right? That's the reason many people migrate from Delhi to Hyderabad. right? They don't like pollution. So Delhi NCR, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, these are the areas which are highly affected because of such issues. Okay, air pollution is obviously high over there, and this is also there, right? Any doubt on this? No? Okay. Now this one is something we had already discussed about this West Asia crisis. Iran, Israel, all these things we have already discussed. This article specifically talks about the dynamics in West Asia. What is exactly happening? Israel is trying to ensure that they have the monopoly over nuclear power. Means Israel wants that only Israel should have nuclear weapon, no other country should have nuclear weapon. They want that monopoly. Okay? And what Iran is doing? Iran is putting the pressure on the other side. So Iran, many countries already tried to ensure that Iran does not make these nuclear weapons as such. So there was this JCPOA agreement which we talked about already. That agreement was made, then came Trump withdrew from that agreement, but started putting pressure on Iran, right? In reaction, what Iran did, Iran started enriching its uranium, means they started moving towards making nuclear weapons. And we saw the recent incident wherein there was an attack on Iran's nuclear facilities, right? So these things clearly show that Israel wants, Iran should not make nuclear weapon. Iran wants, somehow I want to make nuclear weapons. Okay, this is happening, this is the dynamics that we are observing. The article also talks about the same. The concern is there will be an arms race. As soon as Iran makes it, you will also observe many other countries will make nuclear weapons. You cannot stop it. And if this proliferation continues, if many countries start making it, that's a big risk. That's a big risk on this line wherein if there is a country, let's say a country like Afghanistan, or if not Afghanistan, look at a country where there is no political stability. We don't know who will be in power. We don't know if there will be a state structure or not. Suddenly some terrorists will take control of all these weapons. We don't know. Pakistan also has nuclear weapons, but at least we are assured that it is with the Pakistani army, not with the terrorists. So as long as it is with the Pakistani army, we don't need to worry much about it. But as soon as it goes to some terrorists or non-state actors, that can be problematic. So if nuclear weapons are made by more countries, that chance is there. And even that chance of nuclear war, it is also there, right? And if there is a nuclear war, that will be the last war, right? Then there is no world war after that. Okay, cool. Now last article with Mr. Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is talking about this Golden Dome project. Now look at America, where they are leading right now. You see, we use our military or our forces in our territory, in the land area, in the water area, in the air also. But now we are heading towards the area of space. In space, till now, no militarization has taken place. But now it seems America is very clear they want to do this. Now what they have done with this Golden Dome project, what they are doing, let's say this is Earth, let's say this is the area of America. Let's say there's a country who is attacking America with a ballistic missile. Let's say Iran has sent a ballistic missile. Now this missile is coming and going to attack here. But here there are some satellites. Okay, these are satellites of USA. Till now satellites were just giving some information, some images they were capturing. Now USA will be putting some weapons over here in these satellites, and these satellites will have the capability, whenever there is one missile or something that is coming to USA, before it reaches to the land of USA, in the air it will be destroyed using these satellites. It will be destroyed. Now that could be destroyed in two ways. One way would be you use one weapon like a missile. A missile will come from satellites and directly attack this new weapon. That could be one way. Or they can use laser weapon. We call it directed energy weapons. So laser beam, you know, using laser beam, what you do is you concentrate the light at one place and it is so strong that it can burn anything. So can you imagine where USA is leading, right? Obviously they are thinking about protecting the land of USA, but for that where they are going is, that is called as militarization of space. If USA goes for this, other countries will also go for the same. right? So there will be a trend and entire space will be militarized. Okay? Now, there is a problem in legal terms. At the international level, we have this Outer Space Treaty brought in the year 1967. This treaty clearly says that you cannot bring any weapon of mass destruction in space. Any weapon of mass destruction. What is weapon of mass destruction? Yes? No? Nuclear weapon? Are you sure? So weapon of mass destruction, we can understand a weapon which can lead to mass destruction. Suddenly 2 crore population will be removed from the planet Earth. So imagine like this, complete Hyderabad destroyed in just 1 second. Nuclear can do that. Apart from nuclear, there are some weapons like chemical weapons. There are biological weapons. So you come up with a new COVID and that will destroy the entire population. Such weapons are called weapons of mass destruction, and the treaty clearly says you cannot keep weapons of mass destruction in the space. It only talked about weapons of mass destruction. It did not talk about normal weapons. So this is the gray area in this law, and that USA is using right now. They're saying we're not putting nuclear, we're just putting normal weapons or normal missiles. Okay? So this is the Golden Dome project, which will have repercussions throughout the world with global arms race in the world. Clear? So that's it for now. Any doubts if you have, you can ask, or else we are done.